Whenever I'm introduced to someone I've never met before and they ask what I do, I always tell them I'm a teacher. They always ask me what subject, history and sociology, I tell them. Very rarely do I tell people I'm a DSD. I've learned from experience it's near impossible to explain the role of a DSD to someone outside education. What does a DSD or a head of year do? I think the term loco parentis sums it up for me. It is a Latin term for in place of parent. The term refers to legal responsibility given to schools, which means that whilst you are in school, we, as teachers, take on some of the roles and functions of your parents. Essentially, I, as your DSD, have tried to act as almost a sort of parent whilst you've been at school. No job description in the world can ever prepare you for being a parent, in the same way that no job description in the world can ever prepare you for being a DSD. In the past 5 years, for some of you, I've been a relationship counsellor, a security guard, a judge, a banker, a mind reader, a confidant, a prison officer, a fashion stylist, a life coach, a human lie detector, and a careers advisor, amongst many things. Perhaps like your parents and your families, occasionally I may not have always got my decisions right, and certainly you may not have always agreed with me. But I've always tried to do what I thought was best for you, in exactly the same way as your families do. You'll realise one day, if you're lucky enough to have families of your own, it isn't easy telling someone you care about something they don't want to hear, or to make those tough decisions that you know they won't like. To those of you that have trusted me those of you who've had a few problems and issues over the last 5 years, thank you for trusting me with trying to deal with them for you. I hope I didn't let you down. I can tell you I've lost count of the sleepless nights I've had worrying about some of you over the last 5 years. I may not have always been the best at showing it, and I know you say I get too stressed too easily and nag at you too much, but I've always cared for you, and I've always wanted the best for each and every one of you. Being a DSD at Preston Manor isn't the easiest job in the world, and by the summer of 2010 I'd had enough, just as you finished year 7. I'd been a head of year for 9 years and I was growing tired of the job. You as a year group hadn't seemed to settle in year 7 and I was spending too much of my time dealing with a constant stream of poor, immature behaviour. I was getting increasingly frustrated that I thought my year group weren't showing teachers what I thought I knew about you, that you were an exceptional group of students. I wanted you as a year group to earn and deserve a reputation for manners, for friendliness, for teamwork and for excellence. I wondered if I'd done the job too long and if I was getting stale, having done the job for so long, and I wondered if someone new would be able to give a fresh approach to this seemingly wayward bunch of year 7s. Therefore, the first person I need to thank today is Mr. Richards. We met one day in the summer holidays in 2010 and talked about whether I should carry on over lunch. Mr. Richards, having been a DSD himself previously, knew the pressures of the job, but managed to persuade me that I should carry on and that the year group would change and mature and not to give up on these students. That afternoon, after perhaps one too many beers, a lot too many beers, I made my decision. I would see this job through to the end. I hope that you all know today how pleased I made that decision to carry on. Inevitably, after 5 years, there are so many people that I need to refer to and to thank, but as ever, time is against me. I've spoken to some of you individually in the past few weeks or so, and I'm sure there will be some of you that will stay in contact. Please forgive me if you aren't even thanked here in this speech. Each and every one of you have played a massive part in making these last 5 years so memorable for me. Firstly, and of course most importantly, I need to thank your tutors. We have been so lucky to have such a great team. Such a set of tutors with such different personalities, but all showing a real dedication to ensuring that you are so well looked after and being pushed to achieve your very best whilst you are here. They have done far more for us than other tutors would normally be expected to do. They are amazing professionals, and I'm sure you'll appreciate them as you more as you move through life and look back at your time at school. You will never meet a set of professionals that care more about you and your well-being than your tutor team. I'm sure most of you will have said thank you already, but if you haven't done so, please say so before you leave today. Year 11, your tutor team. And of course, most recently, Mr. Ward, thank you so much for your guidance and your advice on how best to serve these outstanding students. I really appreciate the time you've spent with me to ensure that the year group have been so well supported in their time here. Mr. Ward, I told you in private when you joined us in Year 11 that these students at their best were an outstanding group of students. I'm sure you believe me now. I know you've enjoyed your time here, and even Christian, with his appalling sense of humour, has made you smile on a very rare occasion. The Year 11 prefects were perfect. The tutors will agree with me when I say we could have picked another 50 names and we would have still argued about cutting names. I wish I could have got to spend more time with you and be more proactive getting involved in school life, but as ever, time was a factor. You're all a credit to the year group, and I'd like to thank you all for the seriousness with which you took your posts. The next thanks is to the boys' football team. I have so many fond memories of watching you play since Year 7. The amazing comeback in Dowie Martyrs in Year 7, and of course in Year 9 when you became Brit champions. However, some of my best memories of the team came off the pitch, often on the minibus home, in the journey home, sorry. I remember Gianni and Perry asking me to judge which of them had the best nipples. And then both being annoyed at me because I wouldn't give them an answer. I also remember Shaquille and Abdullahi in Year 8, desperately arguing with each other about a young lady they both liked. You're right, Shaquille. With Shaquille stating that the young lady had looked him directly into his eyes when she accepted quality. This, according to Shaquille, meant the young lady liked him more than Abdullahi. They spent the next 30 minutes still arguing over the young lady. To the arrival education students, I hope you found the challenge interesting and rewarding. I know Adam and I are both incredibly proud of you all. You all faced some tough moments on that course, and even though many of you weren't close friends before the course, you were all so supportive of each other, and your conduct exemplified the team ethic I've always wanted from you as students. To those of you who have joined us along the way, I can't imagine how hard it is to join a school when there's so many friendship groups are so well established. You've done such a great job of fitting in, and each and every one of you has added something special to the year group. I've always told students on their first day that you were all a friendly bunch, and there wouldn't be problems in making new friends. I've always totally trusted in you, in accepting new students into our team, and you never let me down. So to the newcomers, though you may not have been with us from the start, I hope you enjoyed our journey with us. You will always be a Preston Manor student to me. To my two brilliant GCSE classes, thank you again. I know I've spoken to you privately, but I'd like to thank you publicly as well. I've loved teaching you for 2 years and had some great fun along the way. I can't put into words what it means to me to sit in front of my Year 11 classes in Hut 104, away from the stresses that the DSD job often brings, and just for an hour, do what I love doing, teaching. It was surely fate when last November, when one of the real low points of being your DSD occurred. The class I walked into straight afterwards was my history class. You won't know it, but you looked after me for an hour, and I'll always appreciate that. I'm incredibly grateful for you all for that. For both classes, I just hope your GCSE results in the summer match your efforts you put into your studies. I wish you all the luck in the world. To Nafisa, to Nancy, to Anise, Krishna and Cara, who've had the unfortunate pleasure of me teaching them history and sociology for the past 2 years, a special thank you and sorry. 6 hours of more in a week is definitely too much. You must be so bored of my jokes and my boring stories by now. To the boys, or the young men as you are now, I'm incredibly proud of you all. Nothing makes me prouder of you than when you come up to me with a firm handshake and ask how I've been or how my day is. It's a great testament to how polite and mature you can be. That friendly, welcoming attitude that so many of you possess holds you in such good stead as you move through life. At your best, you are fine, fine role models. Your ability to stick together and your ability to step in when you see a friend in need means I'm convinced that any Year 11 boy here would make a fantastic friend for life. To the ladies, always so classy, always so mature, you've made my job so easy in the past 5 years. You have great lives ahead of you. Please remember that in the context of your whole life, you are still young, and I am convinced so many of you have outstanding careers ahead of you. Resist the pressure to grow old too quickly. You have the rest of your lives to get old and take on the responsibilities that brings. In a society that still remains sexist, with women still underrepresented in top jobs, I would like to introduce them to my Year 11 ladies. I'd like to wish society the best of luck trying to keep you girls down. They don't know it yet, but society doesn't stand a chance. I cannot wait to see so many of you at the prom this Thursday. I can assure you I will be a very proud DSD that night as I look out at my elegant, sophisticated year group. And some personal messages for some of you. To Cara, tweeting your DSD at 5 o'clock in the morning, asking about history revision tips isn't appropriate. Mrs. Wallman was giving me funny looks for about a week afterwards. To Kevin, we may not have always seen eye to eye over the past 5 years, but your bravery and loyalty to your friends and those more vulnerable means that you will always have my respect, and I have always been incredibly proud of you. To Nafisa, thank you for getting me confused with Channing Tatum. I think you need new glasses. To Alex Kempson, no.
Nafisa!
No. To Rishika, Joe, Meenakshi, Sonia, Gaurav, Krishna, or Elisa, or any one of our academic superstars, please remember me when you are rich. To Emmanuel. I made you a promise in Year 7 that I didn't think I'd be able to keep. But you did it, boy, and I'm so, so proud of you. To Vikita and Ria, keep smiling. You are two of the nicest people I've ever met. We will now move on to a new episode in our lives as our 5-year journey together comes to an end. After the summer, we'll meet new challenges. We'll work together, we'll work towards overcoming new hurdles and encounter new people, some of whom will have a huge impact in our future lives. I want you to remember your time here at Preston Manor. As you move forward in your lives, think what you have learned whilst you're at school, not just in your lessons, but the other important things that I know you've picked up along the way here. The importance of determination, of forgiveness, the importance of hard work and the benefits that it brings, the importance of being loyal, of being friendly, of choosing good friends, and helping others when you can, and making people feel welcome. These are important life skills. Remember them and try to use them as often as you can. The older you get, the more you will realise how important these things are. Me? Well, as you know, now I face a new journey. From September, I lead the sixth form as an assistant head at the school I love. For me, it's a brand new challenge, which I'm both nervous and excited about at the same time. However, I cannot think of a better group of people I'd want to take with me to ensure the start of my journey is a brilliant success than the group of students I see before me now. A year group who I've grown to admire and respect in the 5 roller coaster years we have worked together. My team, our brilliant year group.